Today, I will share our estimated monthly costs to retire in Bosnia if the two of us were to retire here on a tight budget. I will also share Bosnian healthcare, retirement visas, walkability, safety, and other things retirees are often concerned about. There are actually 3 cities in Bosnia I would consider retiring, and I'll explain what personalities would do better in each city. I'll also estimate the cost of living for the capital city, Sarajevo, and then tell you how much I would save by living in the other 2 cities, Mostar and 𝗵𝗂. We are on an exploratory visit looking for the best cheap places to retire in Eastern Europe. We only share places where our feet have been on the ground. We don't gather data from 10,000 kilometers away like the other guys. My YouTube channel, Vagabond Awake, has separate playlists for each country with videos we took of our retirement in paradise for pennies research. Bosnia is the 71st country I've lived in since leaving the United States 17 years ago. After I share Bosnia cost of living, I will cover other factors important to your early retirement, such as healthcare, food, real estate prices, visas, residency, walkability, weather, internet speeds, and more. Okay, estimated cost to retire in Bosnia. I will share my more expensive Sarajevo costs first and then share what I'd save by living in the other 2 cities. I will label the video we took so you will know what each city looks like as I discuss cost of living. Okay, rents. I found this furnished 2-bedroom apartment for 410 euros or $444 per month in Sarajevo on a 12-month lease. From this apartment, the number 2 trolley would have you in the best part of the old town in about 26 minutes. If you rent for a shorter term on Airbnb, it would be much more expensive. A larger apartment closer to the old town could easily cost twice as much per month. So for the middle range expenses, I'll estimate about $800 per month estimate or more depending upon area and size. Here's the process we use to find great apartments. So we'll show you a table of all the estimated expenses in a moment. We'll use $444 US per month for our lower rent estimate and $800 US per month for middle cost of living estimate for expats who want more space. The cost of Sarajevo is significantly more than our other 2 favorites, Mostar or 𝗵𝗂, which I'll discuss in a moment. In general, smaller towns and rural areas around the world cost less than large or capital cities like Sarajevo. Okay, heading south through Eastern Europe, mainly riding buses down through Estonia, Lithuania, Poland, and Croatia before spending time in Bosnia, Mostar first, Sarajevo second, and then 𝗵𝗂. We felt more in touch with the land than if we had flown over it. Plus, we saved thousands of dollars in airfare. Okay, utilities. For the above apartment in Sarajevo, we estimate the year-round average for utilities would be about $100 per month. The utilities would cost more for the larger space, say around $160 per month. Groceries. We would shop in the farmer's market for fresh fruits and vegetables and purchase non-perishable foods and other things like shampoo and detergents in the grocery stores. We estimate about $280 US per month for groceries. Other expats are likely to spend more on imported groceries they miss from home, spending $375 per month or more on groceries, since most don't go to the farmers' markets. Okay, restaurants. We would eat out twice per week, mostly in more local style restaurants, averaging like 8 to 10 US per meal per person, and 1 or 2 splurges per month of like 10 to 15 per meal per person. If you add all that up, we would spend around $220 per month for the 2 of us in restaurants. We may have a beer here and there, but that's covered below under alcohol. Other expats are likely to eat more Western-style foods in expensive expat-style restaurants and less in local-style restaurants, so they would likely spend more like $300 per month for 2 people in the restaurants. It is lifestyle dependent. Okay, cell phone data. The cheapest prepaid physical SIM cards in Bosnia are about 10 US for 30 days with 7 gigabytes of data. My Android phone will act as a hotspot so we can both be on the internet when we are out of the house together. Other retired expat couples are likely to buy 2 prepaid SIM cards, so they would need about $20 per month. Laundry. The apartments all seem to have clothes washing machines. The above grocery estimate includes laundry detergent. Drinking water. We read online that the water is clean here and many people drink water from the tap, but we'd be a little more careful. We didn't see reverse osmosis delivery in 20-liter jugs here, so we'd probably get a Brita water filter. The filter refills would be about $7 per month here. Internet. AT&T tests that our Airbnb Wi-Fi router had 24 megabits per second down and 6 megabits per second upload speeds. We read online that these speeds cost about $29 US per month for in-home Wi-Fi. Public transportation. Public transportation tickets cost average around $1 per person each way. Daily needs would average 2 rides per week or 8 per month for the two of us, which is 16 rides total per month for the two of us, or $16 per month. We didn't find a reliable taxi app for smartphones in Bosnia. Sadly, we just got phone numbers off taxis driving by and used Viber telephone app to order taxis by text. We would average about $6 per taxi ride and about 8 rides per month, or 48 for taxis. So our total transportation would be about $64 per month for the two of us. Other expats might walk less and spend more on taxis and less on public transportation. So I estimate about $120 per month for them. Alcohol, which is optional, of course. Domestic beers in grocery stores in Sarajevo start at around 85 cents US for the half-liter size, which is about 50% larger than the standard size beers in the US. In bars and restaurants, half-liter draft domestic beers run from about $2.50 US on up. We estimate about $110 per month on alcohol for the two of us. Many other expats would spend a higher amount for imported foreigner craft beers and expat bars, so about $230 US per month for 2 people, assuming they're not into imported whiskey or wine. Entertainment. We would budget about $200 per month for entertainment for the two of us. We enjoy more do-it-yourself kind of stuff for entertainment, so expats might spend a little more, maybe $300 per month for the two of them. Okay, estimated cost to retire in Bosnia. Again, I'll sum our Sarajevo estimates and then talk about adjusting down for Mostar and 𝗕vihina. Okay, Sarajevo, the rent $444 per month US, 100 utilities, 280 groceries, restaurants 220, cell data 10, laundry 0, drinking water 7, internet 29, transportation 64 US, comes up to 1,154 US for basic costs. Alcohol of 110 would put it at 1,264. 200 on entertainment would put it at 1,464. For the middle, with the higher rents, higher utilities and groceries, restaurants, it would come for the basic cost of 1,811 US. Add the 230 optional alcohol, you'd be at $2,041. Add 300 optional for entertainment, you'd be at 2,341 US. Our above lower cost estimates for Sarajevo would be for the two of us living on a tight budget. When we first started exploring, we were on a much tighter budget, but now we spend more because we receive additional income from YouTube and memberships. I would estimate that 80 to 90% of overseas retirees will spend significantly more than our above estimated lower budget. So the middle estimate is just another example of what other expats might spend for these expenses if they moved here. To understand what it would cost you to live here, you must put your feet on the ground, see what you would choose to rent, eat, drink, and how you would entertain yourself, and add it all up. It doesn't matter what anyone else spends because we are all different. If you are a retired expat in Bosnia and would like to share your cost of living, please email me at vagabondbuddha.com/contact, and I will invite you on the channel to tell your story as a guest. Okay, Mostar is about 20% cheaper than Sarajevo. According to Numbeo, cost of living in Sarajevo is about 14% higher in Mostar, and rent is 40% higher in Sarajevo than Mostar. Overall, it would be about 20% more living in Sarajevo than Mostar. But like Sarajevo, that will depend on how you choose to live. Without accounting for future inflation, the low to middle range for Mostar would be about 1171 US to 1,872 US if those numbers held for you during your exploratory visit. 𝗕liche is as much as 30% cheaper than Sarajevo. According to my personal observations and estimates, cost of living in Sarajevo is about 20% higher than 𝗕liche, and rent is 40% higher in Sarajevo than 𝗕liche. Overall, it would be about 30% more living in Sarajevo than 𝗕liche, but like Sarajevo, that will depend on how you choose to live. Without accounting for future inflation, the low to middle range for 𝗕liche would be 1,024 to 1,638. Okay, Bosnia retirement desirability factors. I'll now share what I learned about Bosnian retirement visas, healthcare, walkability, internet, food, weather, things to do, social considerations, safety, expat communities, and real estate, and then assign an overall retirement desirability score to Bosnia. Okay, walkability. I would say hi. We walked everywhere in all 3 cities. We found all of our daily needs within about a 15-minute walk of our apartment, so we would not need a car if we lived in Bosnia. Avoiding the expense of a car would be highly desirable to us. Internet, I would say medium. The Wi-Fi in Bosnia seems slower than other countries that we have visited in Eastern Europe on this trip. The download speeds were acceptable overall, but it would take longer to upload YouTube videos, sometimes as much as 4 or 5 hours per video. So we would upload them at night while we sleep. Not the end of the world, I guess, unless you were time pressed. Okay, food. Hi. We found farmers market type sellers wherever we went in Bosnia, and grocery stores never seemed too far to walk since we lived in central areas in each city. Links to the markets, restaurants, and other services we use in all 3 cities are on our Retire in Bosnia webpage. The first link in the description and the first link in the comments below this video. Okay, weather, I would say medium. In Sarajevo, the summers are warm and sunny, and the winters are very cold and snowy. Annual average temperatures vary from 24 Fahrenheit, which is -4 Celsius, to 82 Fahrenheit, which is 28 Celsius, but rarely goes below 11 Fahrenheit, which is -11 Celsius, or above 93 Fahrenheit, which is 34 Celsius. The best time of year to visit Sarajevo is June through August, if you prefer warm weather. Okay, Mostar, the summers are hot and the winters are cold, but snow is rare and short-lived. The annual temperatures range from about 31 Fahrenheit or -1 Celsius to 89 Fahrenheit or 32 Celsius, but it really goes below 21 Fahrenheit, which is -6 Celsius, or above 97 Fahrenheit, which is 36 Celsius. The best time to visit Mostar is June to August if you like warm to hot weather. Okay, in 𝗕liche, the summers are warm and sunny and the winters are very cold and snowy. Over the course of the year, the temperatures typically vary from 26 Fahrenheit, which is -3 Celsius, to 84 Fahrenheit, which is 29 Celsius, and is rarely below 15 Fahrenheit, which is -9 Celsius, or above 94 Fahrenheit, which is 34 Celsius. The best time to visit 𝗕liche is May to September for warmer weather. Things to do. Both Mostar and Sarajevo are tourist towns, and 𝗕liche is a border town with agriculture driving the economy. 𝗕liche has a small town feel with very friendly people and a well-planned community that feels safe and welcoming. Mostar is mostly a tourist economy, but the white wines and grapes coming out of that region also have been winning regional awards. Many tourists stop over to see the ancient medieval old town of Mostar, and that is why it's so famous. It is a great place to stop over and just walk around and learn about the regional history here. Sarajevo is a desirable tourist destination, but it's also the capital city of Bosnia. So if you are a cultural lover and like to live near, not just visit, a diverse cultural mecca, then Sarajevo is your choice. Okay, social considerations. Younger people are more likely to speak English in Bosnia than the older generations. Further, we found that Bosnians are more comfortable speaking English in the tourist areas of Sarajevo and Mostar than in the outside areas. And 𝗵𝗏 doesn't get as many tourists, so many there don't get as much practice speaking English. If you're going to try to integrate into Bosnian culture, I would recommend studying their language. It will not be as necessary in central Sarajevo or central Mostar. Okay, safety considerations. I would say medium. Bosnia was ranked the 61st safest country in the world, 70 spots safer than the USA. When I last checked, the U.S. State Department webpage for Bosnia assigned a level 2 risk, exercise increased caution, and I am quoting, terrorist groups continue plotting possible attacks in Bosnia. Terrorists may attack with little to no warning, targeting tourist spots, transportation hubs, markets, shopping malls, local government facilities, hotels, clubs, restaurants, places of worship, parks, major sporting and cultural events, educational institutions, airports, and other public areas. Minefields and landmines are present throughout Bosnia. While suspected hazardous areas are normally clearly marked, several people are killed or injured each year. End quote. Okay, you can also review my report, How to Travel the World Safely, which is how I have remained safe traveling the world for 17 years. We went out walking late at night in Sarajevo, Mostar, and 𝗵𝗏 and never felt a hint of trouble. Okay, expat community. In March of 2024, the EU opened accession negotiations with Bosnia to join the EU. There's no set date for completion of the accession as an EU member nation. A few locals verified what we have learned over the last few months traveling around Eastern Europe. Prices seem to rise rapidly when countries adopt the euro as their currency, especially when they are also a Schengen member. Since Bosnia is not presently an EU member, nor do they use the euro as their currency, the prices seem lower overall than other countries we visited. Here are a few Facebook pages that cater to English-speaking expats living in Bosnia. 3 links provided. These online expat communities are great for learning all about things that expats want to learn when they first move overseas. Make sure to search for previous questions asked and answered recently before posting your questions to these groups, and you're more likely to get an answer. Okay, medical. I would say medium. The Healthcare International Comparison Index ranks Bosnia 95th in the world, 26 spots worse than the United States, which ranks 69th. There are different reasons why healthcare is rated, but this one seems to be considering quality of care in relation to what patients are charged. If you decide to move here, make sure to ask around for referrals and establish relationships with doctors based on the feedback that you've gotten from others who have used their services. The above expat Facebook pages may be a good source for that sort of information. Okay, tourist visa. Bosnia is not a member of the Schengen visa countries. That means that time spent in visiting Bosnia does not go towards the 90 days you can be in Schengen countries during any 180-day period. So Bosnia is one of the countries you can spend time in when you're waiting to go back into the Schengen member countries. Americans and Malaysians and many other countries can enter Bosnia visa-free for 90 days during any 6-month period. To see if passport holders from your country can enter without a visa, visit the webpage for the Bosnian embassy in your country. Okay, temporary residence permits. You can apply for temporary residence for up to 5 years. I read that you can apply to renew your first temporary year residence permit for 5 times for up to 5 years and then apply for a permanent residency. If you're a member of a country that can enter Bosnia without a visa, then you can apply for a temporary residence permit while in Bosnia. Reasons to apply for residence change from time to time, but at this moment they include charitable work, real estate ownership, marriage to a citizen, education, family reunification, humanitarian reasons, and founders of a company. There's no retirement visa per se, so you will need one of these other reasons. There's no minimum real estate purchase price that I could find, nor could I find a minimum corporate founder's investment requirement if you're going to start a company in Bosnia. Rather than promoting any one visa agency, immigration lawyer, or recommend applying for yourself, I would recommend that you request more information on the Facebook pages I shared above. Ask the expats there how or who helped them successfully obtain their temporary residence permits of the kind you are interested in, whether by real estate investment purchase or company foundation. Make sure to read the recently asked and answered questions on the Facebook pages so people don't have to answer the same question they already asked and answered recently. Okay, real estate, I would say hi. When I read about it today, foreigners are allowed to purchase real estate in Bosnia. Today I saw this small apartment for sale in Sarajevo starting for about 125,000 euros, which is about 135,000 US. I saw this small apartment for sale in Mostar starting for about 115,000 euros or 124,000 US. And I saw this small apartment for sale in Bijeljina starting for about 75,000 euros or about 81,000 US. Several sources online report that Bosnia has no restrictions for foreigners who want to buy real estate in order to obtain a temporary residence permit, and that there's no minimum investment requirements for the property you buy. However, I do not recommend buying real estate in a foreign country until you've lived there for an extended period of time, making sure you love it. If you decide to buy real estate, you should also get your own lawyer who has no conflict of interest with you. For example, do not use a lawyer recommended by your real estate broker or your local lover. Okay, Bosnia retirement desirability score. I would say medium. The winters are slightly more mild here as compared to other parts of Eastern Europe, but still not warm enough for me to live here year-round. But for someone who would be happy here in colder months or can afford to fly south for the winter, Bosnia might be a highly desirable location. Bosnia is certainly one of the most underrated places in Europe. What would it cost you to live here in Bosnia? To understand what it would cost you to live here, you must put your feet on the ground, see what you would choose to rent, eat, drink, and how you would entertain yourself, and add it all up. It doesn't matter what anyone else spends because we are all different. The first link in the first comment below this video has links to everything we discussed in this video about Bosnia. Make sure to subscribe so you find out our next stop in Eastern Europe. To binge watch every video I've ever made about retiring for pennies in paradise, click the playlist in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now.